What's up guys, my name is Brock, you're watching The Modest Man, and today I'm talking about men's lifestyle and grooming products that are super popular, but that in my opinion are totally overrated and not worth your money. Alright, if you're watching this video, I assume you also watch other YouTube channels about men's style and grooming and fitness, and you probably hear about new products every day. You know, there's so much stuff on the market, so many new brands and products for us guys, sometimes it can be hard to figure out what's actually worth spending money on. So here are the top 6 products that are super popular, but that I think are overrated and not worth your money. Number 1, the PMD Personal Microderm Abrasion Device. I think that's what it's called. Now, this device supposedly will help you uncover younger and incredible skin, at-home treatment with clinical quality results. All right, so that's a bold claim, and you know, you've probably seen this on YouTube, it's super popular, but unfortunately for me, it just didn't work. I used it for a few weeks and I didn't see any noticeable results except for some redness and some soreness right after I used it. And in researching other people's experiences, I couldn't really find any positive reviews or any like really compelling evidence, you know, before and after pictures that showed that this thing really makes people's skin look younger and better. In fact, the only place that I saw really compelling before and after pictures were on PMD's website. So in my opinion, this PMD Microderm Abrasion Device or anything like it is not worth your hard-earned money. All right, number 2, Movement watches. And I don't know if they're called Movement or MVMT, but I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Now, out of all the fashion watch brands, I think Movement is probably the biggest. I mean, these guys are everywhere. And in my opinion, these watches are cheap, they're low quality, they're oversized, and pretty ugly. Just look at the specs on these watches. Genuine leather, which is the worst kind of leather. Mineral glass, which is just one step above plastic. Very little, if any, water resistance. Quartz movement, which isn't necessarily bad, but it's certainly not the most expensive movement you can find. Movement is a brand that doesn't spend money on materials or craftsmanship. They spend money on marketing and advertising, and they're really good at it. Worse yet, even if you compare them to other fashion watch brands like The Fifth or Daniel Wellington, I still think they're ugly. I don't think they look as good as, you know, their competitors in the affordable quartz watch world. On top of that, their watches are huge. They're oversized. They don't make anything that would actually look good on my wrist. So my advice, especially if you have smaller wrists like me, is to save your money and don't buy a Movement watch. All right, number 3 is Trunk Club. All right, if you haven't heard of Trunk Club, they're one of the original and probably one of the more higher end clothing box delivery companies for men. Now, I did a detailed 3-part review of Trunk Club over on the blog. I'll link to that below so you can go read that if you'd like. It has a lot of pictures. But bottom line, I really wanted Trunk Club to work out and it just didn't. And it didn't because none of the clothes they sent me actually fit very well. And granted, I have a hard to fit body type, and at just under 5'6", I'm used to having to get clothes tailored. But Trunk Club's clothes are very, very expensive, and so I'm not gonna pay $110 for a shirt and then go pay to get it tailored. You know, maybe if it showed up tailored, that would be worth it. But yeah, I mean, I gave Trunk Club multiple chances and they just couldn't send me anything that actually fit and flattered my body type. So my advice, especially if you're under 5'9", skip Trunk Club. All right, number 4 is DazzlePro. This is another one of those products that you see all over YouTube. Everybody seems to love it. But I tried it and it didn't do anything for me other than make my teeth a little sensitive. And I actually talked to my dentist about this and he said, you know, I should just use baking soda once or twice a week. It takes a little longer, but it will help your teeth become more white over time. It's also much more affordable than something like this. But the real question is, why is this so popular if it doesn't work that well? And if you look at all the reviews on blogs and YouTube channels, you know, no one really shows that it works. Like I've seen a lot of people who like the product, but I haven't seen a lot of compelling like before after pictures. So you gotta wonder, why is this product so highly recommended? Let's think about it. If you look at any video or review that features this DazzlePro, any of the DazzlePro whitening systems, they usually include a promo code in the discount for like 70% off. That's a huge discount. Now on top of that, DazzlePro has an affiliate program through which you can earn a 15% commission on sales that come from your promotion. Let's do some math. Say you get the home whitening kit, it costs $100. You use the 70% discount code, so now it's $30. The affiliate gets 15% of that, about $5. So DazzlePro makes $25 off of your purchase. Let's assume conservatively that they have a 2x markup on their products or 100% margins on their products, which is conservative. That means that kit you bought costs about $12 to manufacture, package, and ship. Now, a professional teeth whitening, like if you go to your dentist and get in-office bleaching, costs on average about $600. So it's no wonder that a product that costs $12 to make, if that, doesn't work as well as a $600 service. I didn't have any luck with this, and I can't say that you will either, so my advice is to save your money and skip this product. All right, number 5 is Sprezza Box. This is one of the original, probably the most popular monthly accessory menswear delivery subscription services. And here's my problem with Sprezza Box. Listen, I know it can be fun to get stuff in the mail, and maybe I'm just a wannabe minimalist, but I truly don't understand the appeal of these delivery services like Sprezza Box. First off, a lot of the stuff they send you is one size fits all. So if you're a shorter guy like me, their ties they send you aren't gonna fit. If you have smaller feet, the socks they send you are gonna be too big. So right off the bat, it's not a great service for someone like me. But also, how many tie bars and lapel pins and bold pairs of socks do you need? And do you really want someone else choosing these items for you? I mean, to quote Tanner Guzzi, men should try to dress intentionally. And to dress intentionally, you have to build a wardrobe in an intentional way. And to do this, you need to buy your clothing and accessories in a thoughtful, deliberate manner. And I don't know about you, but I don't want drawers full of, cufflinks in every color and, a bunch of different tie bars and crazy socks that I'm never gonna wear. I want a carefully curated, minimal, essential collection of accessories that fit my lifestyle and my aesthetic and my color palette and the rest of my wardrobe. And no delivery service like Sprezza Box can do that for me. I have to do that myself. So in my opinion, Sprezza Box and the like are totally overrated. All right, and number 6, last but not least, Yeezys, or Boosts, or whatever they're calling them. First off, no sneaker should cost more than $1,000, period. The fact that Adidas has a payment program, a monthly payment program on the checkout page for these sneakers, a monthly payment program. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that if you have to put sneakers on layaway, maybe just don't buy them. Now second, regardless of price, in my opinion, these shoes are downright ugly. They're the epitome of a trend, which is something that's going to look ridiculous in 4 or 5 years. For me, I'd rather spend my money on 2 or 3 pairs of versatile, relatively timeless sneakers or boots that are going to last more than a few years and that aren't gonna look ridiculous when, my kids see pictures of me 20, 30 years from now. I'm all about experimenting with trends a little bit, but I definitely don't wanna waste my time or money chasing questionable fads. All right, so let me just leave you with 3 quick points to wrap up this video. First of all, trust your instincts, okay? Everything you hear, including what I'm saying in this video, is just somebody else's opinion on the matter. And if you love something, buy it no matter what anybody else says. Number 2, do your research. Okay, just like you should trust your own opinions and instincts, you shouldn't necessarily trust somebody else's. And just because somebody, even somebody that you respect, says that some product is like the greatest thing in the world, doesn't mean that it actually is. So do your research and ask yourself, does it actually work? Do I have proof? Is it worth the money? And do I really need to buy this? And third, don't take this stuff too seriously. We've all made dumb purchases that we end up regretting, including myself. And it's definitely not the end of the world. All right, so those are the top 6 products that I think are totally overrated, but of course I'd like to hear your opinion. So especially if you disagree with me, if you tried any of these things and they worked for you or you love them, definitely let me know down in the comments. And until next time, stay stylish. Made in the USA, made in China.